Hello, we are going to install a desktop version of Linux. In this case, Ubuntu Mate, or Mate. I like this version as it's rather intuitive, especially for Windows users. Now, if you've gotten to this screen, you've already passed the tutorial where you can download a distribution's image, create a bootable USB, and then put it in your computer and boot to it. So once you see this screen, you choose your language. I'm going with English. Then if you have some accessibility issues, there are some tools you can use. And then you choose your keyboard. If you don't know which keyboard you have, you can use this detect feature. But I find it doesn't work very well with English keyboards, so I can't say how it works for anybody else. Now, I only have a wired connection on this computer, but you can use Wi-Fi, or you don't need the internet at all, unlike Windows installs. Now that I have the internet, it is checked and found that there is an updated version of this installer available. But this version's only a month or so old, so it's not worth updating now. You can do that easily after it's installed. Now we are going to install Mate, but you can just try it out, particularly if you want to see how each version works, or if you just need to do something like format a USB or fix a broken install. You can use this live version, which basically runs right off the USB. We're going to use the interactive installation, but you can use an automated installation along with a YAML file to, well, basically automate the install so you can easily do multiple identical installations. We're going to install the full version, but you can install a minimal version that has only the very necessary applications installed. You can install third-party drivers for graphics or Wi-Fi hardware, but only do this if you absolutely need them, because these drivers are untested by the developers, so they may open you up to some security issues. You can check this to download support for additional media formats. And I'm going to do that just in case I want to watch some videos. Now there's several ways to format your storage space. You can just click next and let Ubuntu do it for you, but it puts everything on one partition, which works, but it's not the best for security or ease of upgrading. There are some advanced features, and you can use an LVM, which you can configure exactly as you want. Or there's encryption, or you can use the ZFS file system. But we're going to do the manual installation, which is probably the easiest to get exactly the layout you want. So here's our hard drive, or in this case SSD, with the free space. So you click on that, and then you want to add a partition. And I'm going to add a partition for the temp directory, because I don't want the temp directory to get so big it uses up all the resources and crashes my machine. Plus, I can make it non-executable. That is safer for security purposes. So I'm going to make the temp directory just 8 gigs. And I'm going to leave it as the ext4 file type. And create the mount as temp. I'm going to make another one for var for similar reasons. I don't want var to get so large that it uses up all the resources and crashes your machine. And var basically carries log files, cache files, backups, spools, Well, it can host your web root if you're running a web server. So if you're doing that, perhaps make the web root somewhere else. File type of etc4 and mount it as, come on, var. And then we want a place for home. And home is where all the individual users' directories are. And you really want home to be on its own partition, just in case you need to swap in a new partition for more space. Or if one of the other drives crashes, maybe their home partition is still okay. And you can copy the stuff off if need be. And I'm going to make this 64 just because. And mount this as home. Okay. And we've got the free space, and we're going to add the final partition for everything else. This is essentially the operating system files. It's about 49 gigabytes, ext4, counted as the root. So there we've got our 4 partitions, plus the grub spacer partition that is needed so the computer can boot into the EFI. BIOS, essentially. Okay, click next, and here's where you give your computer a name and add an account. I'm going to call this install test. And then I'm going to create a local administrator's name. Give it a password. Confirm it. You want to use your password to log in, and you can set this up to link to Active Directory, but I'm not going to do that because this is just a first-time install. And so choose your time zone. I've been to Chicago, so I'm going to choose next. This just lists your choices, so I'm going to click install, and now it'll just grind away, copying stuff to your drive. This will take a few minutes, so I will probably speed things up until it's done. Well, must be getting close. Oh, there, it finished. It is finished installing, and you can restart your machine and boot into your new Linux install. Remove your USB drive and hit enter. Okay, here's your login screen. Here's the account you just created. So you can log in with your password. Here we go. We have a desktop, the user's home directory, a menu with available applications. So there you go. Now we have a working Linux install.